In the heat of the moment, passion can sometimes lead to friction, and that's exactly what unfolded on the Miami Heat sidelines during their unfortunate 111-136 loss to the Spurs. As the team fights to solidify their position in the playoffs, any hint of dysfunction can send shockwaves through a locker room that prides itself on cohesion. Bam Adebayo and Eric Spoelstra, the cornerstone duo of the Heat, were seen engaging in a heated exchange, a stark contrast to the mutual respect they've cultivated over the years. Their relationship has often been heralded as the gold standard, particularly after their historic collaboration in that unforgettable 83-point game. Yet, in this moment, their frustration was palpable, underscoring the urgency of the situation as Miami grapples with a five-game losing streak. Adebayo's ire boiled over when Spoelstra made the decision to pull him from the game during a critical stretch of the second half. The context? A back-to-back situation where Bam had already logged a staggering 45 minutes just a night prior against the Houston Rockets. Adebayo, with the fire of a competitor, vented his frustration post-game. "I don't want to be in the ING play-in. So every game, I'm going to try to go out there and do the best I can to carry this team and force our way out of that." His words reflect not only his desire to lead, but also the weight of the moment. He understands the stakes, and with each loss, the urgency grows. On the other side of the exchange, Coach Spoelstra, ever the pragmatist, remained steadfast in his approach. He acknowledged that his decision to manage Bam's minutes was born from a place of care and strategy. Spoelstra's view of the situation is clear. He's in the business of preserving his star player for the long haul, especially when the stakes are so high. "I had to do what's best for the team," he stated, highlighting the delicate balance he must strike between managing player health and pushing for immediate success. Spoelstra sees this exchange as a testament to their camaraderie. "He and I were barking at each other. I think he loves me. But even if he doesn't, I had to do what's best for the team." This dynamic is emblematic of the Heat's culture, a blend of intensity, accountability, and mutual respect. Adebayo's fiery response shows he's not just willing to put in the effort. He's desperate to drag this team out of the murky waters of the play-in tournament. Spoelstra's decisions, while sometimes controversial, are indicative of a coach who cares deeply about his players' longevity and effectiveness on the court. The relationship may have been tested in that moment, but it also underscores a commitment to open communication, a hallmark of their partnership. As the Miami Heat navigate this turbulent stretch of the season, fans must recognize the significance of these exchanges. They reveal a team that is not just fighting for wins, but is also in the trenches, battling for its identity. The Heat's resilience will be tested, but with Adebayo's fierce determination and Spoelstra's tactical mind, there's hope that this moment of friction can transform into the fuel needed to ignite a turnaround. With the Heat facing a relentless schedule, it's imperative that they harness the lessons learned from these emotional moments. The next matchup is looming, and the stakes are higher than ever, as players and coaches come to terms with their roles and the challenges ahead. We'll see if this moment of intensity can serve as a catalyst for the Miami Heat's resurgence. Now, as we transition to the next chapter of this roller coaster season, let's delve into what lies ahead for the Heat as they continue to battle through the grind of the regular season. The Miami Heat are in a precarious position as they fight to secure a playoff spot, but their recent performance raises serious concerns. Tied for a season-long 5 straight losses after a disheartening 136-111 defeat at the hands of the San Antonio Spurs, the Heat look like a team in disarray. The spotlight shone squarely on Bam Adebayo and the team's inability to counteract the prowess of rookie sensation Victor Wembanyama, who dominated the contest with 26 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Adebayo, the Heat's captain, didn't shy away from acknowledging the frustration that simmered on the court, particularly during a moment of tension with head coach Eric Spoelstra while being subbed out. This wasn't just a run-of-the-mill game. It was a glaring reminder that Adebayo and the Heat are desperate to avoid another play-in tournament, a fate they've experienced for the last 3 seasons. "I don't want to be in the play-in," Adebayo declared, revealing the urgency that permeates the locker room. His performance, while statistically decent, 18 points on 5 of 17 shooting didn't match the intensity or impact needed from a player of his caliber. The Heat's identity, which has often been anchored in tenacious defense and rebounding, was conspicuously absent against the Spurs. Miami surrendered 136 points while being out-rebounded 62 to 38, an unacceptable disparity that speaks volumes about their current struggles. Second chance points were a disaster as well, with San Antonio dominating 25 to 6 in that category. The Heat's paint defense faltered as they allowed 60 points in the key area, a glaring hole that needs addressing if they hope to turn this ship around. Spoelstra's decision-making also came under scrutiny. After Adebayo's exhausting 45-minute stint in the previous game against the Houston Rockets, it was evident that Spoelstra was trying to manage his stars' minutes. Still, the back and forth between coach and player during games raises questions about chemistry and communication. Spoelstra acknowledged their verbal exchange, saying, "I love him. I think he loves me." But the reality is that love for one another doesn't translate to wins if the message isn't clear. The term pain has been a recurring theme in Spoelstra's post-game remarks, highlighting the discomfort this team is facing. "We're being tested right now," he said, acknowledging the uncomfortable feeling that has settled over the squad during this losing streak. While he maintained some hope, insisting that there have been bright spots in previous games, the reality is that the Heat have been outplayed in nearly every facet during this stretch. Adebayo's words echoed a sentiment that transcended statistics. He pointed out the lack of competitive spirit. "We didn't bring a competitive spirit. That's really what it was," he said, acknowledging a need for the entire team to elevate their energy levels. He even called out Myron Gardner, who, despite limited minutes, played with a relentless energy that others need to emulate. This kind of passion is crucial for the Heat if they want to shift the narrative and regain their competitive edge. Interestingly, Miami's recent health returns, Andrew Wiggins, Jamie Jaquez Jr., and Norman Powell, should ideally bolster the lineup, yet seems to have resulted in a chaotic adjustment phase. Tyler Herro described this as a good problem to have, but the reality is that the Heat need to find cohesion quickly. Herro himself contributed 18 points, but the overall disjointedness within the team is evident. Powell's perspective on the losses was particularly telling, as he spoke about the team letting go of the rope when faced with adversity. This is a critical point. The mental aspect of the game cannot be understated. When shots aren't falling, it's essential to maintain composure and focus on the fundamentals. Instead, the Heat seem to spiral, allowing opponents to capitalize on their mental lapses. With 10 games remaining and a record of 38 to 34, Miami finds itself in a precarious 9th place in the Eastern Conference. The upcoming 2-game road trip against the Cleveland Cavaliers will be pivotal. The Heat must not only find a way to stop the bleeding, but also rediscover what has made them a formidable team in the past. It's time for the players to step up, the coaching staff to solidify their strategies, and for the entire organization to rally behind a common goal, reclaiming their place in the playoffs without the dreaded play-in tournament looming over them. As Miami braces for this critical juncture, fans can only hope that the Heat rediscover their competitive spirit and determination. The question remains, will they rise to the challenge or continue to falter at a time when every game counts? On to the next item.